The spirit of our age is an ironic one, and it would be funny if we did not take ourselves seriously. When I was younger, I remember counting myself enlightened by saying, "Oh, I'm spiritual, not religious." But for all my supposed enlightened thought, I was lost, adrift at sea, with a floating piece of wood as my life preserver in a tempest of waves and wind. I had no dry ground to build a foundation upon in my life, so as to actually move on with my life. Yes, I believed in spiritual things. I had gone through countless spiritual worldviews, but I was searching. But I was searching in such a way that I did not believe that there would be an end to the search, and certainly that there would be something worthy to build my life upon once I found it. I had gone through the mainstream exoteric popular things to the fringe esoteric and obscure things to find what I needed to build my life upon, a firm foundation, and to go from there. When I was younger, I wanted the pure, undistilled spirit. Once I got it, I was led by the Spirit to understand the significance of religion, why it was so important. If I may use an analogy, imagine being in a relationship. That other person is the essence of the relationship, but there is also a difference between a relationship and a non-association, that is, a stranger. Part of that difference is having a certain understandings and boundaries that ought and need to be respected if the relationship is to flourish. If it is not, then it will not succeed. It will die. When people say, "Oh, I'm spiritual but not religious," whether they know it or not, what they are saying is, I determine the boundaries of this relationship, not the spirit. But who is superior in this relationship? Your small, fragile, limited ego, or the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving spirit? I think we can all see the arrogant and ultimately unspiritual pride in such a statement. I've heard it said that religion is the cup that is supposed to be filled with the water of the Spirit. Some of us have larger cups, but we all got one. This is a reference, of course, to true religion, not false religion, which ultimately either dilutes the spiritual with something worldly or has holes in the cup. Either way, you're not getting the full and pure thing. The larger or smaller cup is the level of religious commitment that we are called to. For some of us, it will take more effort than others, but all will be saved by grace. I think people are afraid of religious commitment, but I think it's because of preconceived notions. I think it's got most to do with the fact that we either do not understand or do not want to understand why the church lays down rules and obligations in the manner that they do. But our Lord Jesus Christ asked us to love the Lord our God with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength. And if we need to exert ourselves to understand why this is so, then it is only for our own benefit, and we should accept it rather than protest against it. I remind you that a marriage requires the same level of religious commitment, to be intimate with your spouse, to raise children and educate them, to meet the demands of living in the world in all its practical and moral considerations. Religion then ought to be and is synonymous with love. Ultimately, the question of what is religion is a question of what do you willingly love. That is your religion. That thing which all your time and energy is willfully expended upon. I say willfully, not out of necessity, because to love is in the will. It's not a mere feeling, it's in the will. So rather than hearing people say, "I'm spiritual, not religious," I say to them, "Are you religious for the Spirit?"